Hey guys, welcome back. This is History of Power Rangers Season 1, Episode 31 of my show, but this is about Episode 34. Now before I start talking about it, I just want to mention something about this, episode I'm going to be talking about. This episode I'm going to be talking about, as I've told you guys in my previous videos that featured the Green Ranger up to this point. He was going to be in this series from until this point in the first season, and then after that he wasn't going to show up until a couple of times afterward. I just wanted to mention that again before I actually started. Anyway, getting into it. This is History of Power Rangers Season 1, Episode 31 of my show, but this is about Episode 34. And Episode 34 in the original Power Rangers first season is part 1 of a 2-part episode called The Green Candle. Now, as I stated when I said the title, this video is gonna cover part 1, and the next video is gonna cover part 2. I just thought I'd mention that because, as I told you guys before, what I was going to be doing was, if I got to like a 2 or 3 part episode, I made 2 or 3 separate videos dependent on which part it was. But if I got to like a 4 or 5 part video, 4 or 5 part episode, I would condense it into an hour long video for you guys just to make it simpler. Anyway, getting into the actual episode now. Basically what happens is Jason and Zach are doing some sparring in the youth center, and while they're sparring a little bit, Zach basically asked Tommy if he's asked Kimberly to the dance yet, because apparently there's a dance in this 2-part episode that they're going to at the school. I guess that's why she's asking that. That's why he's asking him if he's asked her to go to the dance with him yet. I just wanted to get that out of the way there. Tommy said that he hasn't, and then Zach tells Tommy that Kimberly is going to say yes, but she's not going to unless he asks him, he asks her first, basically. Oh my god. Anyway, and then he tries to do some moves where he tries to charm Angela the same way, but it doesn't work out. And then Bulk and Skull show up, and then they do this kind of like a mocking version of the rhyme, roses are red, violets are blue, and so on and so forth. And then after they have a little bit of a mishap, after that, Jason and Tommy and Zach basically do the same thing with the roses are red, violets are blue kind of thing. And then basically, what happens after that is, then it goes into, where Rita is, oh, I'm gonna get off topic here one little second, because I want to mention, I should have mentioned this at the start of the video. Like I said at the beginning, when I started the 30 segment, this is actually gonna be the last 2-part video I'm gonna be doing, that happens within the same segment, and then the rest of the, as I stated multiple times in previous videos. After this two-part episode, we will have two more two-part episodes. One that will start at episode 39 and go to episode 40, and then another that will start at episode 49 and go to episode 50, and then after that, basically every single Power Rangers episode at least in the first season, every single Power Rangers episode after the Return of an Old Friend two-parter will be one singular episode. I just thought I'd bring that up one more time. Anyway, continuing on with what I was saying earlier, Then after they had that little bit of a mockery thing with Bulk and Skull, it goes up to where Rita is on her palace, and she comes up with this plan to get revenge on Tommy for betraying her, which has to do with this weird candle made of like green magical wax. I will explain about the magical wax later. When I get to the parts where the candle shows up, and again when Zordon mentions about the candle at the end of the episode before the first part ends. I thought I'd get that out of the way there. Well, since the candle thing is gonna be like the kind of the focal point of this two-part episode, which kind of makes sense because it's the Green Candle two-part episode. Then after Rita tells her minions her plan about how to capture the Green Ranger and get her revenge on him for betraying her. Well, not really betray it, but kind of defecting, because Tommy, if you guys remember when I did that hour-long Power Ranger video on the 5-part episode, it was Tommy was under an evil spell, basically, like. So he was kind of hypnotized. Basically, that's what that means. I thought I'd get that out of the way. Anyway, getting back into it, after she shows her minions the candle that is made of the green wax, Goldar said that that's an excellent plan to, for her to get a revenge on the Green Ranger for betraying her, like I said before. And basically then she does this little bit of an incantation to find where the Green Ranger is. And then after that, what happens is, after she says find Green Ranger, point him out, she puts this little pin-like thing on this map, which shows the location of where the Green Ranger is, and she sends her putties to capture Tommy, basically, and then it goes into the scene where Kimberly and Tommy are in the park, and basically what happens is Kimberly's asking Tommy what the urgency was about, because it sounded kind of urgent over the phone, and he says that there was something that he wanted to talk to her about. And then he gets a little nervous when he tries to say it. But then Kimberly tells him that they're friends, so it doesn't matter, kind of thing. Like, they're friends, so that basically whatever he's got to say, he should just come out and say it. But this is the funny part. When he tries to go and say it, the putties show up, which kind of basically ruins everything. Because the reason why they were in that part of the park was because he was going to ask her to the dance that they were going to be having and stuff. So that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to ask her out, but the putties showed up. So it's kind of bad timing. And then what basically happens is after that, they start fighting the putties, and then the putties manage to capture Tommy, and they take Tommy to Rita's dark dimension, and then after they're in the dark dimension, he's asking Goldar what his plan is this time. And he says that it's, actually, after Tommy gets captured, then it goes to a scene where the Rangers are in the command center, and then after that, basically what happens is Kimberly's saying that it's another one of Rita's dastardly plans, and that she's gonna try to regain control of Tommy, basically. And then she's saying that they gotta help him, and they try to find him, but he's actually in Rita's dark dimension, basically. And then after Tommy's in the dark dimension, after the putties put him in there, he meets up with Goldar, basically, and then Tommy's asking Goldar what this is about, and Goldar basically tells him that, he's like, it's simple. If you serve Rita, you can keep your powers. If not, you'll lose them when the candle burns out. And then he's inquiring about what candle, and then about what candle, and then basically what happens is he shows him the green candle. Now here's the thing with the green candle thing. It's formed from a type of magical. Now I'm gonna explain about the candle, since this is the part of the episode where it's introduced. Well, the part of it that has to do with Rita's plan, where it's a major plot point. I guess I could have did it when I started talking about her, but I felt that it would be more necessary to wait until Goldar actually explained what it was. So now I'm going to explain what the green candle basically is. Well, it's all I'm going to mention for right now is that it is Goldar tells Tommy that the candle is made from magic wax. When the candle burns out, Tommy will lose his Ranger powers as the Green Ranger, and then after that it goes into a scene where Kimberly is with the others in the command center. Well, actually, she's saying that it's another one of Rita's dastardly plans, and she's gonna try to take control of Tommy again like last time. And then it goes into a scene, and then they wonder how they can get him out of the situation he's in. And then basically what happens is, then it goes to where Rita is on the moon, and she's telling Finster that they've got to try to keep the other Rangers occupied while the green candle burns, basically. So basically Finster introduces her to a new monster he's created. Now this is the funny thing, this monster is a monster that will kind of, at least will be featured at different points in different seasons. Like there are some monsters that the Rangers fight in this first season that'll be kind of like reused in other seasons and stuff. And in this case, the monster that they fight this time is a Cyclops-based monster. And he has the ability to assume the identity of anything, basically. And then what happens is after that, but the Cyclops monster takes the form of the Dragon Zord. So the Dragon Zord disguise that the monster uses starts trashing the town, and then the rest of the Rangers get worried that Tommy is back on Rita's side, basically. And then Zordon tells them to wait, because his sensors, like, he's telling them that his senses are telling him that the Dragon Zord that they see at that right there is actually an imposter, which is kind of makes sense because it's the Cyclops monster disguised as the Dragon Zord. I just thought I'd get that out of the way there. Anyway, then afterward, Rita calls on Goldar to help her deal with the Rangers and stuff. And then after Goldar realizes that he's been called to battle, he looks at the green candle, and then he puts a sort of like a kind of a magical kind of restraint on Tommy to make sure that he doesn't try to get the candle while he's gone, which strategically is a good move. Personally, I'm just getting a little bit of information there out of the way. Anyway, then afterward, while the Rangers are fighting the Dragon Zord that is of the Cyclops monster in disguise, Jason basically says, that the monster that disguised as the Dragon Zord is almost as tough as the real one. I can't remember. I think it's actually Zach that says it's almost as tough as the real one and stuff. And then basically what happens after that is, later on, Tommy manages to get free from the dark dimension. And then what happens after that is basically, after he gets free, he tells the Rangers that Goldar had him trapped. And he tries to use his Dragon Zord flute to summon the Dragon Zord, but because of the candle, his powers are already fading, so he does it again to try. And then the Dragon Zord gets summoned, and then basically Jason says that he's glad to see Tommy, and then basically Tommy says that he's the Power Ranger to the end, and then Rita's like, yes! And your end will be coming soon, Green Ranger! And then, after they manage to defeat the Cyclops monster, basically what happens after that is, I'm guessing Rita kind of gets a little upset that she lost this time, but she's still succeeding in her plan, kind of, because the green candle is still burning, basically. And then after that, what happens is, then it goes back into a scene where the Rangers are back in the command center, and the other Rangers are telling him that they're glad he's okay, but Tommy tells them, is he really? Because according to Rita, his powers don't have much long before they're gone, basically. And then, Trini says that basically, she's just trying to trick him. Besides, how could she have a way to take his powers away, basically? And then Zordon says that there's more to it than that. And then basically, Tommy gets a little bit, I can't remember the exact term of word, but I think he says to Zordon that he found out some information about the green candle that Tommy told him about, and basically Zordon basically said that this is the part of the episode where the video where I'll explain about the green candle. You see, Rita created a green candle by the use of some magic wax from basically the Gamma Tri system in the Power Rangers series. And apparently, once the candle is touched, it retains a person's body energy. Or in this case, the Green Ranger's Ranger energy, basically. And, but, and then Kimberly kind of gets a little worried about that, saying that basically, and she's been saving I can't remember if it's Kimberly or Trini, but I think it's one of them, and either one of them says that she's been saving the wax for all this time, basically, and then Tommy basically gets a little kind of worried about that because, well, he's kind of skeptical about it because to him he never really touched the candle, and but Zordon tells him that he did when he worked for Rita and stuff, and then basically Tommy says that Rita wasn't kidding. Once the candle burns out, he's history. The Green Ranger is finished. And then basically what happens after, and then it goes into a scene where it shows the candle in the dark dimension, and then that's basically where this first part of this two-part video stops. So if you guys like this video when I post it, I'll try to post it today, and if it doesn't work out today, I'll upload it Monday instead, or I mean Wednesday instead, regardless. That's gonna end this video, guys. For now, I'll do the second part for this two-part video sometime next week. And by sometime next week, I mean sometime in the week that's coming up. So, until part 2, guys, just please give this video the real best you guys can, and I'll see you guys in the next video. So until then, you guys, like I always tell you with this series, may the power protect you always.